Hello bitches, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to finally answer all of y'all's questions regarding moving to Los Angeles to pursue a career in art or animation. In total, I've kind of just been living in Southern California itself for about 5 to 6 years, and regarding living in Los Angeles itself, in which I kind of consider as Los Angeles, Burbank, Glendale, Pasadena, Hollywood, Koreatown, downtown LA, Beverly Hills, and whatever neighboring cities are around, I just kind of consider this whole blob LA, just because at the end of the day I feel like if you live here you're going to go to all of these towns or cities. I am not a veteran in the industry that's been working here for years and years, and I have not lived in Los Angeles itself for years and years. I'm originally from New York and I moved here to go to CalArts and then pursue a career in Los Angeles in storyboarding. So that is my background information, and I just wanted to let y'all know about that because I am not someone who's going to be giving, a perspective of someone that's been living here since forever. I want to kind of give a new, fresh perspective as just a young woman. I don't know why it's still weird for me to call myself a woman, but thanks for listening to this prolonged introduction. I will now get to your questions. So one of the first questions I got is pretty much why. Why did I make this decision? Why did I choose LA over other cities? And why LA? Are there other cities with a strong animation industry? And of course, the first reason why I moved to Southern California itself, not necessarily LA, is simply because I got accepted into CalArts' character animation program. I am in Burbank, California now because I went to CalArts, and post-graduation I just moved to Burbank, which is 30 minutes south of Valencia, and that is pretty much where the biggest concentration of animation studios are. I am aware that there are other animation studios in other states and countries, but the reason why I moved to Los Angeles is literally just because that's where most of the animation studios are located, and that is pretty much the biggest bubble of animation industry people. Even though you can still probably get a job elsewhere in another state or country for animation, why I chose Los Angeles is because animation itself, again, is a very nomadic field. It's very project driven, and you're not really guaranteed a job to stay at a studio forever, and most of the time your contract has a start and end date. And for me, if I were to live in another state or country where there was only so many animation studios or only one animation studio, it would be very difficult to get another job or find another project to hop onto once my contract ends with one studio, because if there's only one studio in this one specific place I'm in, where am I supposed to go once that contract ends? Then I have to just kind of wait around until that studio opens up a new job position, or if there's just a new studio that will just open up nearby, but you never know when that's gonna happen. So that's why Los Angeles is kind of more reliable when it comes to job hunting for animation jobs, because once your project ends for another job, there's probably another studio nearby or a few minutes away that has another job opening. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot more competition in Los Angeles, and I feel like there's just more opportunity here as opposed to other states and countries, at least at this point in time. The second question I got is kind of regarding the impressions of moving to Los Angeles and some of the pros and cons. Like, what was it like when I first moved to LA, and what is it like living there for the first time? So one of my first impressions moving here was definitely, the weather. I hate talking about the weather just because I feel like it's such a common small talk topic that now just talking about the weather kind of makes me like, shut up. But I will talk about the weather anyway, I guess. The weather here is very different from a place that would normally have all 4 seasons. I feel like 80% of the time in Los Angeles is just summer, and 20% of the time is when it's like cold and rainy. Public transportation is pretty much non-existent. It's just one of those things where LA does have a metro system, they do have a bus system, but it really is not running as frequently as other metropolitan cities like New York, which is where I'm originally from. And you pretty much have to get a car here or use Uber or Lyft or ride sharing services if you do want to get around to places at more flexible times, because it's like if you want to take a train, you will only have so many available times to take the train. If you miss the train at 4 p.m., well, guess what, bitch? You gotta wait till 6 p.m. till the next train. If you are Asian and you need your Asian groceries or you need your Asian supermarkets and whatnot, you do kind of have to go a little bit out of your way for them, because I will say Los Angeles has a good selection and variety of different grocery stores that you can shop from. But when it comes to more ethnic cultural supermarkets, you have to go to the locations in which they are located in. You have to either go to downtown LA, Koreatown, Sawtelle, the San Gabriel Valley, just to access these Asian grocery stores. And I feel like if you are planning to move to Los Angeles to pursue animation, you might most likely end up living in Burbank, North Hollywood, Glendale, Pasadena. These locations are kind of not that close to these Asian grocery store locations. And if you do want to get like some sort of Asian grocery, your closest bet is probably going to Whole Foods or Trader Joe's or those small little sections of Vons and Ralph's. So that is why I'm happy to introduce to y'all WOWBOX Japan, which is a monthly subscription snack box for Japanese snacks. WOWBOX offers one-of-a-kind themed exclusive snacks from Japan, and it is a subscription that is delivered monthly to your doorstep. And some of these snacks can only be found in Japan and not even available in Japanese supermarkets in the United States. So I wanted to let y'all know that WOWBOX is hosting a contest to win a trip to Japan, and why wouldn't I want to offer my lovely bitches a chance to go to Japan? So pretty much first place wins a round trip to Japan, second, third, and fourth place will win all sorts of other prizes. And the rules is that first of all, this is only open to WOWBOX subscribers, and you have to create your own video to show your love to WOWBOX and get creative with it, you know, like if you've been always wanting to do a mukbang channel and you just need a subscription box or something to start off with, there you go. And you have to use the hashtag #MySweetWOWBOX, and they will also make it easier for you to become a subscriber by having the first box for only the cost of $15 for all large-sized boxes, okay? So this is $15 for a large-sized box of snacks, which do not include that gas and driving or Uber to go to the other supermarkets, and it's just gonna come to your doorstep, so you can kind of just get your monthly supply of Asian snacks without having to leave your house. You just have to go to the WOWBOX site for the coupon code, and you can get all this information from the link below. So the third question I got is pretty much regarding how I was able to afford moving into an apartment here in Los Angeles, and any affordable apartments. Is it best to try and have someone to move in with to pay for things, or can you get a place by yourself? What are the most affordable spots for accommodation? And I will let y'all know now, and I'm pretty sure it does not come as a surprise to many of y'all, but living in Los Angeles is definitely not cheap. So if you are living by yourself and you plan to get a studio apartment, $1,500 is usually kind of the minimum price for a studio apartment if you plan to live in it by yourself. But I will say, if you are planning to move here for animation, whether if you do plan to get a roommate or not, the most common places for people to move to are Burbank, Glendale, Pasadena, Koreatown, North Hollywood, or even back to good old Santa Clarita or Valencia if you're willing to deal with the commute. I personally right now am living in Burbank in a one-bedroom apartment by myself. I have my own room and I have my own living room, but the cost of it is about $2,238 a month, and that is definitely not fucking cheap, and I am aware of that. But I will say that one of the reasons why it is that expensive is because I initially got this apartment for $2,000, but Burbank currently is not rent controlled, meaning that people are allowed to raise the prices of the apartments here, and the cost of my apartment pretty much raised by that $238 this year. So initially when I got this apartment, it was just $2,000 a month for a 1-bedroom apartment. But that is why I am thankful again to have a job that is able to support that, because I will say if you are working in animation and if you are a storyboard artist, you do get decently paid enough to actually be able to support yourself living under those costs. And for those of you who are wondering how I was able to afford living in this apartment for the few months post-graduation that I was unemployed for, again, I am thankful to have my parents who are willing to help me and support me during this time, because they totally understood that I was just looking for a job, and that when I do get a job, I'm willing to work my fucking ass off to fucking pay it back and pay it forward. I pretty much was able to start paying for myself after I started working my job. And another thing in addition to that was that I was freelancing over the summer that I was not employed at a studio for, so I was making a decent amount of money prior to my first job. And prior to that freelance job over the summer, I was also working several freelance jobs and doing commissions and doing, I was trying to say, internships. Just know that even when you are unemployed, try to do your best to just look for ways to support yourself, because it will definitely challenge you in ways that will help you grow in the future and be more financially intelligent about the way that you are dealing with your money as an artist. Other than that, it is very common for people to get roommates or move in with someone to split the cost of an apartment. And these people tend to be just your classmates from school who just, are also moving to Los Angeles to pursue the same career, or some people actually already live here with their families, or some people just, split the cost of renting a house together. So getting roommates is very common in Los Angeles, and a lot of the times I see people making these listings and notices on Facebook, so definitely keep in touch with the people that you know from school that might be interested in also moving to Los Angeles. But again, this is kind of why I want to emphasize or preach the fact that animation is a valid career out there, for all the people who say that art is not a valid career or it's just gonna leave you homeless and working at Starbucks or whatever. And it's really just a matter of landing the first gig that I will say is the struggle. But other than that, once you're in and once you're just moving from project to project is when things turn out a lot more smooth. So the next question I got is, less of the financial and physicalities of living in Los Angeles and more about, the emotional and mental aspects of living in Los Angeles. And a lot of the questions pretty much ask about the fear of moving to Los Angeles and, the emotional impact of leaving your family and previous life behind. But I would definitely say that for me, I was less scared and more sad. I just kind of felt sad because I was definitely leaving all these friendships I formed behind that I worked so hard to get. I felt like ever since I was really little, it's been very hard for me to make friends in general. Making friendships and holding on to really close and deep ones were the hardest thing. And I felt like having to just move away from that and only resorting to now Skype calls and FaceTimes with those people that you built such a strong relationship with, it was difficult in the beginning, but I definitely, grew used to it, and I had to re-challenge myself to build friendships that were just as strong here in Los Angeles. I would say that if you are moving to California for the first time, you should definitely find a social group that is in the same boat as you and dealing with the same struggles. And even if you feel like being alone is the best option for you, for those of you that are introverts like myself, I would definitely say, remember that for the times you think that you want to be alone are actually the times that you should be reaching out and trying to make friends with people that might be sharing the same experience as you. Most of the people that I know now are not originally from Los Angeles. We are all people that just moved to Los Angeles. So if you could surround yourself with people like that, that is what will make you feel like you're at home despite the fact that you might not be at home. And finally, the last question. After everything that has happened, was it worth it? And after everything that has happened, I will say that, yeah, it was worth it. I feel like the things that you should remember and hold on closely to is your why. Why are you moving here? And why are you doing this? Again, I feel like if I was not getting into animation and if I was not getting into storyboarding specifically, then I don't think moving into Los Angeles would have been as worth it if that is not your priority. But if you are planning to get into animation, storyboarding, or into entertainment in general as your career, I would say it is worth it to move into Los Angeles if you are able to secure a job. But again, I will just say I feel like it is only worth it if you really want to pursue art and animation, especially in the world of entertainment, and that happens to be like a lot of animated films and TV shows. That's where they're pretty much located, which is here. I feel like being here allows you to have higher chances of being under a studio that is unionized, that will again ensure that you get paid properly, as well as providing you with benefits. I feel like if you want to pursue a job in animation or storyboarding, this is as stable as it will get, is if you move to Los Angeles and join a unionized studio and work for them. I feel like that is the most stable career you can get out of animation, while also being able to be flexible with moving on to different projects. Yes, I had to leave my family behind, and yes, I had to leave my friends behind, but at the end of the day, I felt like I met so many new people here. I made so many new friends here, and I never would have had the opportunities to meet all of you. At the end of the day, I would say it was worth it, but I also will say that it is you who determines if you're going to make it worth it for yourself. And of course, I'm only speaking at this moment in time right now, because who knows, maybe when I'm 30 to 40, I might find this all not worth it, and I might just be like, all right, I'm moving back to New York. Or I might even be like, fuck it guys, I'm moving to Tokyo. Who knows? I want to stay open to the things that will happen to me in life, and I feel like that is one of the things I definitely learned about moving to LA, is just being open about the things that are going to be happening to you. But just a reminder in life, ya got this. So yeah, those are pretty much my answers to y'all's questions. I hoped it answered some of them. And again, I just wanted to provide some perspective from someone my age at this time in life. I am very aware that a lot of the things I am saying now are prone to change in the future, because who knows, maybe when I'm 40, I might fucking hate my job and be like, fuck it, I am becoming a baker. But as of now, this is my life and I enjoy it so far. And I hope that I can help you all find more ways to enjoy your life as an artist trying to get started in their careers. But yeah, funny enough, as I am making this video, I am actually going to be leaving back to New York in a few hours. So goodbye Los Angeles for a few days. By the time you're watching this video, it would have been post-Thanksgiving, so I hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving, and I will see y'all in the next video. So see you later, and stay wholesome, bitches.